Well, I believe in selling your product. As I heard many managers or administrators would tell their the employees, how do we sell our product? And for me, my brand was, I had to be consistent. I started to train hard. I didn't had all the help that these referees are getting now. I had to research things on my own. I had to ensure, which is to me very important, to keep your body healthy. Whatever you put in your body is what it gives you, what comes out of it. And so I ensure that I stayed healthy for the majority of the times that I can control it. And I started to receive appointments because my performance started to grow. I started to become more recognized. I started to make the coaches and the players believe in refereeing on the field. They believe that I'm going to be in the middle there and I'm going to give them a good game. And so they started to believe in me, and my game I started to do very well in the games, and from that I received numerous appointments I was appointed to 5 Junior World Cups. I was also appointed to 1 Senior World Cup. I had a previous appointment to a World Cup, but I was injured at the Algarve Cup in 2011 and I could not attend that tournament. I damaged 3 ligaments in my left foot during a training session with the referees. And then I had also went to 2 of the Pan American Games where I also refereed the finals there. I attended the Olympics in 2004 and 2007. In 2004 I had a fantastic year. I think that was one of my best years, created the best memory for me. Even to date, I think that's the best memory I have of refereeing. That's my best experience, because that is something that I believe every athlete dreamt of or dream of, want to be an Olympian, want to win a medal. And for me, I didn't do it in track and field. But when I went to refereeing, I was able to achieve that. I did very well in the tournament. I refereed the semifinals between Sweden and Brazil, and before that I had 3 other games, so that was my 4th game. And FIFA decided, because my performance was so good, they appointed me as a fourth official in the finals, because the United States was playing Brazil. And most times when a country from your confederation is in the final, they don't appoint a referee from that confederation to officiate in the final. For me, I was appointed as a fourth official. But something very strange happened in that particular game, because I recall very vividly, I went to take a nap, and during that, it's as if my dream was real. I saw myself in the middle of the field refereeing that final. And when I got up, it's like my whole demeanor, everything for me changed. So I went downstairs, I joined my team, I went to the game, and as the game unfolded, I watching the game, everything, as a court official, I'm doing my duty. And then all of a sudden I saw the referee started to show signs of discomfort. And in my mind I was like, no. I don't want this, not this way. Because I know the referees, we're like family, and I want the best for her. I want any person who refereeing a final to complete the match. And so I started to see my dream unfolding before my eyes. And I said, no, this can't be. So when she came in at halftime, I told her, I said, you need to hold on. You need to make it, at least try to finish the game. So at full time, the game was tied at 1 apiece. And Jenny Panquist, who was the referee in that final, could not continue. She had an injury to her calf and she could not continue. Everyone looked at me and said, are you ready for the medal? I said, I always like to say, yeah, I was born ready, because I always prepare myself for anything that can happen. So when I went into the game, I remembered who was cautioned. I remember who was cautioned because I had the number 7 written in the palm of my hand. So I knew who was cautioned, and number 7 and number 5. I knew who those persons were. So when I went into the game, I had no problem. And it's like, as if I was there throughout the match. So for me, that was my most memorable experience at a World Cup or at a tournament in FIFA. I think we have to build also good relationships. Good relationships with whoever you work with. It's important that we build good relationships. And as an administrator, I'm also the head of referees for Bahamas football. And For me, I have a sports philosophy, and my philosophy is to build, create opportunities for every person, give them an opportunity to achieve something, and by making that environment in such a way that the person will feel comfortable coming out to work, to train, without knowing that anybody will harass them and make life difficult for them. For me, I would like to, as a sports administrator, as an assessor, as an instructor, my philosophy will be to foster growth through opportunities. I want to create that opportunities because sports not only build character and confidence, but it also gives you a sense of accomplishment, and it also highlights the importance of teamwork. When I started, I didn't look too far ahead. I tried to achieve my main goal, which was broken up into many parts, and as I achieved those parts, I knew I get closer to my main goal. But as I grow into the sport of football, I start to realize that I have the qualities to be an administrator. I have the quality to be an instructor, to be an assessor, and I'm a person of great determination. When I want something, I go after it, and I work hard. I don't believe that anybody is going to give me anything. I believe in working for what I want, and I don't look forward to anybody giving anything to me or doing me any favors. If I'm good enough, I will sell my product so that they will want me, and I will not have to go seeking for them to give me any favor of any sort. Well, at first it was not easy because I live away from my parents, and so when I have to travel and my husband has to go to work, I have to ask my mother or one family member to stay with my son. I have one child. He's now 28 years old. He was a national keeper for Dianne at the youth level as well as at the higher level. My husband is also a soccer coach, so he understands the demand of having to travel. But as a mother, it's different because it's taken away a lot of time from your child. It's taken away a lot of time from your family, and so it's important for you to be able to balance the two things. You have to be able to balance. You have to also ensure that you are not leaving or lacking things behind. You're not leaving that space to create any form of negativity in your relationship, in your home. So I had to really balance my time. I have to manage my time as well and select the tournaments that I would like to go to, and not attend just all the tournaments because that would take time away from my family, and I need to be close to my family because I'm really a family oriented person, and so I ensure that I balance the two things between sports and family. And believe you me, it's not easy. It's difficult because I miss my son many nights, and my son and my husband, they also miss me as well, but they understand that, and they supported me throughout the journey, that I can achieve this because they see the amount of work that I put in order for me to get to where I am today. Oh, that was crazy. When you're young and you're full of energy, you tell yourself that, oh, I can do all the different sports. I think I was born with a special talent. Apart from determination and talent, I work very hard. So talent alone sometimes does not always get you to where you want to go. And I was also a karate champion, a kumite champion. I played volleyball with the national team. I played hockey with the national team. I played soccer with the national team as a captain, as well as a cricket captain, as well as a volleyball captain. So it's not easy. It was an easy journey for me. It's difficult because sometimes I do track and field in the day, and then in the evening I might have a game, so I have to go to that game, and I have to take my son because my son is with me lots of times. He was very young, and I take him with me wherever I go. I don't leave my son behind, except if I'm going to a tournament. I would leave him, but generally my son goes with me everywhere. I'm a person, I know everyone has a story, and I grew up very poor. but that did not deter me from being what I wanted to be. And so sometimes people always say that you're a product of your environment, but I don't believe that. I believe that it has to do with the various individuals, what it is that you want to achieve, and you need to go after it. Doing multi sports is good, but there comes a time when you have to settle for one. And so I settled for football at the time, and that led me into refereeing, now into an instructor. My mother and father, it was 9 of us, and my mother and father, and one breadwinner was my dad. So when he goes off to work 2-3 months, sometimes it is difficult for my mother, because she has to take care of 9 children all on her own. And my big brother, he decided to come out of school and go and work so that he can help to provide in the home. And my parents were very strict, they were very disciplined. They believe in a good education. And so it is to my father in particular, we had to bring in good grades. We had no choice. And we understood what it is like to have nothing. We want it, but we don't have it. And we accept that we don't have it. But there are other things that we can do. We enjoy our family time. We enjoy playing we had a very big yard, and we enjoy playing and making friends and just being among ourselves and making ourselves happy, because you don't want to think about what you don't have. You want to be comfortable with what you have and respect what you have until you can do better. And so all my siblings, we grew up in this way that we don't care about what other people have. It's what we achieve and how we achieve it in the best and honest way that we could. And that honesty, that togetherness we had, that helped us a lot to grow in the sport and to make me a better person. Coming out from a home that is poor financially, there are many days I went to school, I had nothing to eat. I did not eat nothing for that day, but no one knew that, only me. I'm the only person that knew I did not eat, and I know when I go home I may barely have one meal, but that did not deter me from getting to what I wanted to be. I continued to push, and I worked hard. I worked through all those obstacles, and I see it as giving me strength to go forward rather than make me sad. So I use all the negative things, all the sad memories, to make me a stronger person so that I can go forward and achieve what I want to achieve. I would applaud her for staying strong, for believing in herself, believing in what she wanted, and going towards that, reaching for that goal, and not just reaching for the goal, but helping other people along the way to also reach their goal by bringing them along with me, because in this life, there's no I, there's no me. I didn't achieve what I achieved on my own. So I tend to use 3 words: attitude, humility, and gratitude, because there are so many people that helped me along the way to achieve my goal. And so I will always be grateful to them for anything they contribute, whether it's negative or positive, because in every negativity you learn something. This world is a learning world. We learn, we unlearn, and we relearn. So we always have to be learning, and so I'm always appreciative of everything that someone does for me. I don't look forward for people to do things for me, but I'm also appreciative of whatever it is they do for me. It doesn't matter how big or how small. I'm appreciative of everything. Well, my parents were very big on academics, We had to bring home good grades. I remember one time, the story with my dad and my little brother. I saw my father beat my brother because he came 37th space out of 70 something students. And my brother was beaten for that. So I ensured that I did not. And my father said we can only come first, second, or third in the class. We cannot come full place, because full place is for cricketers. When you play cricket, you can score 4 runs, and he does not want us to bring in full plays. He said, we cannot be poor and dumb. We are already poor, we have to find a way to make ourselves out when we get into the world of new opportunities. And so for me, I completed my high school. At the time I finished school, I started working when I was 17 years old as a trainee teacher in a primary school. And from there, I was seconded by the ministry, and I worked at 2 high schools, a secondary school and a high school, in various periods teaching physical education. I also wrote the exams to go to be a trained teacher, but I didn't want to be a trained teacher. I didn't want to be a teacher at the time. I just did it because that was the only thing available to me at that time. So I entered the police force because I was a part of the youth club of the police force, and that's where I started my track and field. So I decided I want to be a police officer. I wanted to be a lawyer, actually. That was my career goal. I wanted to be a lawyer. So I very much like law. In the police force, I joined the police force, and I retired from the police force. Well, I left the police force because of I had a situation with one of my superiors, and as a woman, I refuse, and I will always say, I refuse to be intimidated by anyone. I refuse to accept that because I'm a woman, I'm not capable of achieving anything, and I must sit and accept anything that you push at me. I refuse to do that. I have quality, I have an education, I have experience, and I can get any job. And I refuse to allow someone to make me belittle me and make me feel small. And I refuse to have anyone keep me away from my family, because I love my family and I will always do what I have to do for my family. And so I walked off the job. I didn't just retire from the job. I walked off the job because I refused to be intimidated. I left all my benefits behind and I walked away. From there, I went to the Bahamas, where I was given a teaching opportunity, and I started to teach in the Bahamas. From there, I acquired my associate degree, my bachelor's degree, and also my master's degree. So, education-wise, I also believe that you have to ensure that you are equipped both ways, not just in sports, but also in academics, because if the sports does not work out, at least you can get a job in academics in some area that you have the qualifications to get. So it's not always about sports. Sometimes we also need something that we can fall back on. I would say to them, if you have a goal and that's what you want, that is not something that someone wants you to do, but it is something that you want to do, then you have to ensure that there are steps to achieving that goal. You have to remember that all around you there are many negativities all around you, and so you have to work through all those negativities because you want to reach a certain height, you want to achieve a certain goal, and you must be humble. You must be someone who can accept criticism, whether it's pure negative criticism or constructive criticism. Whatever it is that you're told or you hear about yourself, take something from it. It always teaches you something. Don't always be quick to respond to people when they tell you something. You must be able to analyze, assess what they're saying to you, and then you respond to them. For the young people out there are numerous opportunities for you, but you have to want it. You have to see yourself as a positive person who can contribute to this environment.